Alright, so I went, got some water, came back. Alright, we're good. Um, so yeah, Egypt and Syria. I'm just gonna finish the article with Egypt and then talk about both countries and get a little more in depth with my own opinions. Um, so last I left off, voting is open until 11 p.m. tonight. It is now 9:50. So that means for at least an hour and 10 minutes longer, they're still voting because of such a high turnout that they were not expecting. Let me continue with the article here. It says some 250,000 security personnel have been deployed to safeguard a referendum in which more than 51 million people are registered to vote. That's a lot of people. Polling reportedly had to be spread out because few judges were willing to supervise the referendum. I'm assuming maybe they were scared or worried about the violence. Says human rights groups have expressed fears the results from the first round could sway the opinion of those voting in the second. A constitution must be in place before elections can be held early next year. Mr. Morsi was elected president in June with just over half of the vote, more than a year after Hosni Mubarak was overthrown in a popular revolt in Egypt, the most populous country in the Arab world. I actually didn't know that Egypt was the most populous country in the Arab world. We learn something new every day. However, some people are saying that this constitution is wrong for Egypt. The simple ballot paper asks if Egyptians support or oppose his new constitution. Backers include President Morsi, who voted near the presidential palace in the Cairo district of Heliopolis, the Muslim Brotherhood, and most other Islamists. Opponents include liberals and others who want a more secular future for Egypt. Some of them say the new constitution would take away some of the new freedoms hard won in last year's revolution. Voters interviewed by Reuters news agency in Cairo were hopeful the vote would bring some calm to Egypt. One guy said he sees it as a positive step for the country, a good base that we can start to work from. In the northern port city of Alexandria, where there were clashes on Friday between rival activists fighting with clubs, stones, and other weapons, Mohammed Iwas explained why he was voting no. He basically said, I cannot accept a constitution with very limited rights for minorities, rights for women, and rights for even children. BBC Arabic reporters covering the referendum from outside Cairo say the situation was calm amid a high turnout. Alexandria, long queues formed at polling stations. Voters complain about waiting time. But that's to be seen. That's what you'd expect basically anywhere there's anyone voting for anything. People are always going to complain about the long wait times and whatnot. In Mahala, a city in Delta that has seen big anti-Morsi demonstrations. Polling stations were heaving with people with heated political discussions outside the voting booths. In Asiut, Upper Egypt, where the Muslim Brotherhood is popular, there was tight security from the police and military, including tanks guarding some polling stations. And some people are saying that there are irregularities. The violence in Alexandria reportedly broke out after a cleric in a mosque urged worshippers to vote yes. It continued late into the evening with police firing tear gas and at least 15 people injured in the fighting. Supporters of the draft constitution have accused the opposition of sowing lies and discord about the referendum. The opposition National Salvation Front had vehemently opposed the referendum, but this week said its supporters should go to the ballot boxes to vote no. In a statement on Saturday, expressed deep concern over the number of irregularities and violations in the holding of the referendum. This, it alleged, pointed to a clear desire for vote rigging by the Muslim Brotherhood. However, the Egyptian's Army Chief of Staff, General Sedki Sobi, told the BBC he was satisfied with the situation inside and outside polling stations. Overall, relatively short article for it being the BBC News. But it kind of explains everything. So with all that said, with all that going on in Egypt and Syria, basically it seems as though the Syria conflict is coming to a close. However, we did have to send some of our own troops out there to keep the peace on the borders of Turkey and Syria, um, because of Syria and their allies with Russia. And as far as Egypt, it seems like the country is still very split, although voting is still open, it seems that there are a few more people who want the Constitution than those who do not want the Constitution. It's still anyone's game, but I'm thinking that if this new Constitution, this new law were to pass, um, that it's gonna start a civil war. We might not have to go out to Egypt after all. Now that I'm reading more and learning a little more about the situation, however, it's I have a feeling there's at least going to be a civil war going on there, and war is never good, especially civil war, to fight with your own country, to fight with yourself. It's just I don't know, it's just not a good thing, especially if they're trying to make change. Then again, I suppose if they're going about trying to make change for this country, that might be the only and the best way to do it, unfortunately. Some countries and some places of the world are just like that. That's just how they work. I think now, though, more than before, I'm more concerned with Syria and Egypt because, again, my husband's an army medic and he is active duty. So if this continues, they might have to send him out there, and I'm worried about that because obviously I don't want him to be in the Middle East right now. Before it was Afghanistan and Iraq, now it's Turkey and Syria. Who knows what's going to be next, and who knows how bad it's going to get. And I just don't want him caught in the crossfires because obviously I love him and I'm worried about his safety. But it seems, maybe it might go that way, and I just have to learn to prepare myself for the worst. But yeah, I think I'm gonna put a close to this video soon. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say about Egypt and Syria, explain the news and my opinions. At least one good thing has come out of all this. In 5 days, I will see William, and Christmas is coming around the corner. And even though I'm not sure, I don't think very many Muslims, sorry, Islamics, or whatever you call them. Sorry, I do need to get more educated. Even though they may not necessarily celebrate Christmas, I'm sure they can respect the holidays. Hopefully. I'm sure everyone around the world can respect that, just like we can respect Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and different Islamic traditions and holidays. Usually you don't hear about very much conflict going on around Christmas time. So hopefully this year won't be very different, and Christmas and New Year's week won't be extremely controversial. I'm looking forward to a peaceful holiday, and basically after William comes home, I probably won't make a video for another week until he leaves. So between the 20th and the 2nd, between December 20th and January 2nd, I probably won't be making another video. So if anyone's looking for more Egypt Syria updates, I'm sorry. I probably won't be the place to do it around that time. Otherwise, check out my other videos, and I guess I'll see you guys after the holidays. I might make another video right before the holidays, right before he comes home, but we'll see. Alright, peace out. Put any comments below about this video, about any other videos, about your opinions of what's going on in the Middle East. I love to hear everything. Like I said about that kid that commented on my last Egypt Syria posts. I just like to gain more knowledge on the subject and learn about it as much as I can. So please, if you have any comments, any knowledge about it below, just let me know. Otherwise, peace out, and hopefully you like this video, and I'll see you guys soon.